Squirrel released in 19... I mean, come on, look at this title screen. It's like they're not even trying, for fun. Anyways, released sometime in 1999 if the Antstream infomercial thing is anything to go by, for the Super Nintendo Family Computer Entertainment System thing, courtesy of DVS Electronic Company, is a pirate original conversion of the Mega Drive pirate original classic Squirrel King, which served as the retroactive inspiration for one of Capcom's perennial Disney afternoon classics, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. Now, we've sampled Squirrel King a couple years back, and I even made mention of this Squirrel game. Let's see if we could load up that clip fast. There's also a Super Nintendo version of this simply called Squirrel that's only one player and far worse, but I've not touched that one, and I don't think I want to either. Well, tough rocks, pal, because it's on the Antstream subscription service, and you still have an active subscription, so... Yeah, this Antstream thing is weird in that there are actual Disney games hosted on here, like Aladdin and Goof Troop, that you could actually play, but then at the same time you have the bootleg Rescue Rangers on there. Still here, I should say, as of this recording at least. Did anyone at Disney not notice these things, or are they too busy producing AI-composed scripts for the next 20 Star Wars, Marvel, Alien, whatever else these fuckers own these days, cinematic slop? They're all the same to me, they all blend together, whatever. Anyways, you play as Chip. Dale took the day off for this adventure, and I can't say I blame him since he carried the load for most of those Disney videos that we did back in May. As such, this is a solo adventure that, like in Squirrel King, begins in a recreation of the first stage from Rescue Rangers 1 on NES, before going along its own path in this 7-act adventure. The general idea is that you move to the right, no backtracking, you pick up crates or boxes or whatever, and you throw them at enemies. You could even throw upwards. Crates will sometimes hide items such as health pickups and green fists that will give you a fireball shot to toss at foes, of which you start with 3 and can carry up to 9. If you crouch while holding a crate, you'd actually hide in the crate, which can protect you from harm for one hit, a rather nice move to take advantage of sometimes. So with the exception of this first act in the city, each of the remaining 6 acts in the game are divided up into 3 segments. And surprisingly, only one boss fight at the end of the game. You play 3 stages of a world and you move on to the next world without further conflict. Did they forget to add in bosses, or are they just not on the cards? I mean, you're down to 1 player only, 1 squirrel to play with, 1 boss fight, apparently a couple levels were dropped entirely from the lineup, and somewhere along the way we've degraded down to 1-star quality control because some of these jumps should have landed and don't. Anything that involves moving platforms or anything that can easily be clipped runs the risk of being clipped, and controls, while somewhat responsive at times, can be a bit touchy. Could be the streaming service messing things up a bit, but Squirrel King ran fine on Antstream whether it's on PC or on Atari box, remember that thing? This is probably why the former Squirrel King lost its crown in the jump to SNES. Gameplay feels about the same as the Mega Drive equivalent, but not quite as solid. Whether it's the floaty jumping, the 50-50 control, the spotty collision detection, or just the overall unfinished feel in general. Collect crystals, but there's no on-screen counter, so what's the point? Squirrel comes across as half-baked. It's a playable enough game if you can put up with some of the quirks, but nowhere near as good as you're getting from the source material. Well, yes, that too, but in this case I'm talking about the Mega Drive pirate. Squirrel is generally not a bad-looking game. Well, most of it isn't bad-looking anyway. Mostly copy and pasted from the Mega Drive version, the character sprites look somewhat decent, perhaps a bit cleaner looking here. The backdrops are also fairly average-looking fare, and probably not all that exciting to venture through, but on a whole it doesn't look like hot garbage either, which again is high praise for a pirate original. Now the audio on the other hand is kinda terrible. The sound effects are kinda lame, and it's not the same music as the Mega Drive version, it's mostly bland and forgettable. I'd imagine most of it is ripped from some other lousy in the SNES library that's not worth playing and most people have probably forgotten about. Actually, you know what? I might actually look into it. I wonder what the music is from. It does kind of sound familiar. Really? And people like this game? Yeesh. Next year, kids. Next year. Overall, Squirrel on SNES is not terrible. but certainly not as polished as the Mega Drive Monarch and nowhere near as worthy of getting a Super Mario redress. Which is just as well, because why play a Mario knockoff on Super Nintendo when you could play actual Mario on Super Nintendo? In any event, if you've already played Squirrel King on Mega Drive, there's no reason to be playing a lesser version of the same game on a different console. Just another case of Genesis doing what Super Nintendo don't. Oh, what a bar we've set for ourselves. Our Chip and Dale ripoff is less shitty than your Chip and Dale ripoff. Fucking hell.